Hello everyone, Will the Outlaw here, and today we are going to be taking a look at Transformers Age of the Primes Superion. With Devastator being my favorite combiner, Superion is absolutely my second favorite. Even though I never had a single Aerobot as a kid, they were still my favorite Autobot combiner. I even made my own Superion with Lego, complete with individual plane modes. Yeah, I spent a lot of time making my own toys out of my other toys. Anyway, the Age of the Primes bring back the Aerobots with a healthy dose of G1 nostalgic homage. As with most modern combiner teams, the members are released separately, with the limbs being deluxe and Silverbolt being a commander class. I never got the Combiner Wars version, mostly because that version never really looked right to me, but this set immediately called to me and my inner G1 Superion fanboy. Taking a look at the figures themselves, and while they all look similar, aside from Silverbolt of course, they have their own unique cues that give them their own identity and feel. First, let's check out them Armbots. Fireflight and Slingshot are both pretty much the same figure, sharing the same basic skeleton, but they have different colors and molding details. Slingshot looks cool with the glossy black paint going down his torso. His head is sculpted nicely enough, I just wish there was more color breakup. But I guess it is G1 accurate. Fireflight wears this mold a little better in my opinion. I really like the color breakup with the reds, whites, and blues really bringing life to this mold. The head sculpt also has a better sculpt and colors. Even the joints feel a little tighter and smoother than Slingshot, but not by much. The only problems I really have with these figures are the kibble. They don't get in the way of articulation at all, but they just look real awkward with the wings just hanging out on the legs, and their feet looking like reverse clown shoes. Another thing is that due to the nature of how they combine, the waist is a little loose. The joint itself is tight enough, but the lower waist just likes to dangle. Their only accessories are these double-barreled guns. Both sets are exactly the same, no difference between them whatsoever. They can either be held in his hands or, my personal preference, be placed on the wrist to make them look like they're blasting away like Deadshot. Transforming these two are exactly the same. As awkward as the bot modes look, transforming them is truly a fun process, with the arms folding up into the fuselage and the legs doing the Combiner Wars thing. The jet modes are actually really good. In fact, I'd go as far as to say they're pretty much perfect, with almost zero bot mode kibbles to be seen. While they both look pretty good, I really like the red that's used on Fireflight. These are just really cool deluxes and are really fun toys on their own. Moving on to the Legbots, and just like the others, these two share a skeleton but have differing designs. Air Raid and Skydive look really good in robot mode. I have a soft spot for Air Raid since my cousin had him back in the day and he most represents what an Aerobot is to me. His molding and coloring are solidly done, and his head sculpt looks properly stoic and serious. While my nostalgic soft spot lies with Air Raid, I think Skydive makes the better looking bot. I think it's because there is more color variations with the blacks, reds, and grays. I really like the matte gray colors on this one. I don't know, it just really catches my eye for some reason, and I'm all here for it. His head sculpt scares me though. Yeah, that's gonna haunt my dreams. Now, unlike the Armbots, these guys come with their own unique guns. I mean, they are pretty generic looking, but it's still good that they have their own thing going on. Transformation for these guys are a little more boring than the previous ones. The limbs just kind of fold in and hang out at the bottom. The jet modes we get are really cool looking, if you ignore the bottom that is. I mean, I don't mean to trash on them so much, I guess I'm just spoiled with how great the Armbots are. Silverbolt, I am very happy to say, is really the star of this team. He's a commander class, so he comes with the Combiner skeleton, which in this mode is a giant hunk of plastic that can only double as a gun turret thing. I don't really mind it though, the bot itself is what's important, I guess. Silverbolt is a really impressive Voyager scale figure with each color being an actual different piece. Despite the limbs being oddly proportioned, I mean look how tiny these arms look compared to the torso. Silverbolt is really fun to pose and feels really solid in hand. He even has a waist swivel. His head sculpt is the most interesting of the rest of the group. It has a real old man of the team look to it. You'd never know this Concord was scared of heights. Big head mode activated! I absolutely love this transformation. I love how the arms fold in. I love how the flippin' legs fold in over the arms. I even love how everything just snaps so perfectly into place and make the jet mode one solid piece. The Concord mode is pretty perfect, even with the folded robot hanging out underneath. Did you know that the actual Concord can do this? Yeah, he can do that too. Even the included giant hunk of plastic transforms into another giant hunk of plastic that can attach to Silverbolt. The result is, Silverbolt is now a giant hunk of Sky Fortress. I know it's goofy, unwieldy, and totally not practical, but it has a charm that I just can't get over. I like it, and it kind of works for me. Okay, let's get these guys into Superion. Silverbolt and his giant hunk of plastic does almost all of the transforming, with the hunks separating into the limb pieces and Silverbolt turning into the torso. The Armbots pretty much stay the same, while the Legbots fold in on themselves to fit in the back halves of the skeleton. Superion is definitely one very impressive piece. I know the whole combiner skeleton is not everyone's cup of tea, but I really think it works for this guy. He has a large, heavy presence and just towers over his fellow Autobots. The detailing and especially the proportions are top-notch, with the chest piece being a perfect recreation of his G1 look. I especially appreciate the leg details as they look like the chest pieces of Air Raid and Skydive. Aside from said legs, Superion is really clean with almost no kibble to get in the way of articulation. Ball jointed head, ratcheted shoulder joints that can go forward, back, in and out, bicep swivel, 90 elbows, wrist swivel, waist swivel, legs that can go forward, back, in and out, thigh cut, 90 knees, and ankle tilts. All the shoulders, elbows, legs, and knees are on ratchet joints, allowing for solid posing and an overall solid hand feel. Just like Devastator, while he isn't the most posable figure, it really is cool how posable he is, despite his size and weight. Silverbolt's gun can combine with this thing to make Superion's gun. While it kinda looks spindly in his hand, it does kind of look like a long-range sniper rifle, and there's even a peg here on the forearm that plugs into the gun, giving it a bit of stability while being held. Speaking of guns, the individual bot mode guns can be stored throughout the entire figure. I like keeping the Legbot's guns together like this, while the Armbot's guns look really cool here, and the other one can be placed here on the back of the wings. There's a reason this guy is just one of my favorites. This version will be my definitive version of the Aerobots for a long time to come. It also helps me get over never getting the Combiner Wars version. I mean, this guy just looks better and more stable than that one. A marked improvement in every way. All in all, unlike a lot of the combiners that I have, this set's individual bots are all good enough to stand on their own. Even Silverbolt has his charms, and the Commander price point can be somewhat justified. These are all great toys and are a lot of fun, whether you have them all or not. Bottom line, Superion is a great piece and looks perfect among his fellow Autobots. While I know I said they are great individually, the real value and true fun of this team is the combination of the bots and messing with Superion as a whole. Well, that was my look at Transformers Age of the Prime Superion. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all soon.
Laters!
Check out my Patreon for early access to my videos and shoutouts on future videos. Join up and let's talk toys.